Hey everybody, this is James, Rattlesnake Defense. Please ignore the construction sounds in the background. I have something kind of special for you today. This is a Horizon Vandal X. This is a higher end rifle. This one's in a 22 Creedmoor, and I'm going to get close because I don't think I could do this justice. It's got some, if you want to call that fluting, that's some wild fluting. It's got a nice tacky stock, really smooth action. This is a pretty high-end gun in a caliber I'm not familiar with. We're going to shoot this and see if it's worth the extra money that you spend on something like this. I'm doing this right off on the back of doing a review on a Savage Axis, so let's see if the performance is on par with the pay. Alright, so before we shoot, I just want to let you know this has all the doodads. These are made in Texas. This is on a Stellar Action. It takes your standard ACIS mags, threaded barrel. This is their own stock, their own kind of chassis, but you could feel the quality on the gun. Trigger Tech trigger, you know, all the good doodads. But that doesn't matter if the gun doesn't perform. That's the thing. I don't mind spending a little extra money on a gun as long as I know that what I'm getting is worth the extra money I'm spending. And again, just so you know, nothing I do on this camera is going to do this rifle justice. You need to see one of these in person. I'm not familiar with the company until today, but that's what I want to do is test it out. Let's see what we got. Of course, we have a loophole scope on it, good mounts, something that's worthy of the gun itself. But without me rambling more, let's get to the meat and potatoes. First impressions, 22 Creedmoor. Of course, it doesn't kick. I mean, it kicks more than I thought it would for a 22 Creedmoor. It's loud. Of course, this has a pretty short barrel. Trigger pulls pretty smooth. I mean, again, I just did a Savage Axis review, so it's like infinitely better. I might be miscalculating a little bit, but the trigger feels great. Chassis is very comfortable. Of course, you know, the ammo options are limited on 22 Creedmoor at this point. I'm sure that'll change, but those shots are almost touching each other, and this is the first time I've ever shot it. I'm going to sit down for a second and shoot a couple groups at 100 and see if we can get this thing shooting like it should. Something that's really hard to get through. I just showed you guys a close-up of the gun, but something that's kind of hard to get through is the feel. And this is something it's hard for me to explain. It's not something that's totally tangible, but I have handled hundreds of thousands of firearms throughout my career as a dealer, as a shooter, and among other things. And this one feels really nice. I think the only other gun that has an action on it that feels quite this good is probably a Proof, where it's got the real nice threads. You know, everything just feels like it fits together really well. But I think I actually like this better. I'm a bigger fan. I like the metal. Carbon fiber is great if you're walking a long ways. The lightweight can be good, but this gun's not exactly heavy. And it does everything that the carbon fiber barrel could do whilst not getting super hot, and I don't have to wait between shots if you're precision shooting. If you know what I'm talking about, you know. So this literally checks all the boxes off. The bolt is super smooth. The stock has a little tack to it that feels great. It's just the right amount of grippy. The angles are good. I don't have the biggest hands, so a lot of these get really fat right here, and it doesn't feel that good to me. This one is perfectly balanced. The barrel is super cool looking. It's got that custom look a little bit of a sports car look to it. And even the camo is subtle, but different enough that it makes it attractive. So, you know, you have to take my word for it. I can't really let you feel the gun over the camera, but please, get one of these in your hands. All right, so I got a 5-shot group. I'm going to show it right here. Super impressive. The one flyer could very well be me. It did take a couple goes at it to get a group that good, just to get used to the rifle, and the conditions up here aren't ideal. But for a 100-yard group, I think that's super impressive. So we have some targets up here out on the hill. Let's try a couple long shots just for fun and see what we think of that. Let's see. Let's go for a little one. That was about a 4-inch swinger at about 125. Let's go further. All right. Look, it shoots. I don't know what you want me to tell you. The bolt's smooth. It feels amazing. The 18-inch barrel might not be ideal for a lot of people, for a lot of uses, but say for a varmint hunter, if you wanted a high-end groundhog gun or something for coyotes or whatnot, this would be great with a suppressor on it. I didn't have one here to put on it, or I'd do that too, but this thing would be a varmint-getting machine. And based on the limited amount of range I have up here, there doesn't seem to be an out of range up here. It only goes to a couple 100 yards. And I'm not even accounting for drop. So this thing could probably get out there and get them. And if you miss, you missed. Of course, the ammunition's a little bit of a problem right now. It can be hard to come by. This is the 77 grain Nosler Custom, just for the record. But I really hope this catches on. This is a rifle you guys need to check out. Please don't let this one slip past you. If you're into Christensen, if you're into Fierce, if you're into Proof or any of these kinds of brands, do not buy one without giving this rifle a look, please. I think you'd really do yourself a favor if you did. So thank you guys.